Yeah, people, it's Mark Holmes, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know this does not work. You know, it is Sunday night, we don't have football, and we're going to have a little bit of fun here. One thing that's important is know your enemy. You know, Eagle fans, they get mad at me and stuff. They're like, why are you talking about the Eagles? Why? Because you mother humpers are in the way of what my team wants to achieve. And you must know your enemy. So Washington, you know, you guys are now have the target on your back because you won the division. You are the one that people are picking to win the division and to be really, really good. We heard Mike Greenberg say the Washington football team, they may be the best team in the NFC. He said that. We had Rich Eisen say on just my last video that he believes Washington's going to win the division, that he believes, you know, the Cowboys will be about 10-6 and that Washington will win the division. So that means that you have to be at least 11-5. And so I don't want this to be haterade, but I know that's how it's going to be taken. I know Washington fans are going to come at me and say you're just a homer, and it's true. I am a Dallas Cowboy fan. I am a Dallas Cowboy homer, but I'm going to take off my homer glasses here, and I'm going to try and be realistic. And I want to go through the schedule with you for the Washington football team, and I'm going to also do the same thing against the New York Giants as well as the Philadelphia Eagles, so we can try and figure out who should win the NFC. And we're going by what's transpired right now. Now, things, of course, are subject to change because, you know, for all we know, Aaron Rodgers could be traded to the Washington football team. If that happens, then all bets are off. You can forget about these early predictions. So let's go ahead. You know, we have up here one impressive player, one absolute beast, or should we say dog out there. Chase Young has literally become a one-man wrecking crew. And I dare say he is putting the fear of God into a lot of quarterbacks right now. But beyond that, let's go to the Washington football team schedule. Okay, so first of all, Washington, shout out to you. You did win the division this past year. Great job, okay? I can't take that away from you. Congratulations, okay? You were 7-9. You won the division. You had a 4-2 division record. You lost twice to the Giants. Now, what I am going to say is this, is the 7-9, it's kind of funny because that's the same record you had in 2018. Same record you had in 2017. And in fact, you seem to kind of hover. That's kind of where the top end is for the most part. Now, you did have in 2016 8-7-1, so that is actually the last winning season that they had. 2016 8-7-1, okay? Because you had a tie. That's a winning record. We had 2015 9-7. That's a winning record. The only other winning season since 2010 was 2012 10-6. Okay, I'm not saying this to try and belittle the Washington football team. I'm not. I'm just putting out here because I've been doing some work, okay? I eat my dinner out here, and I've been going through each season, season records and things. Okay. So, Washington won the division. The crazy thing about the NFC East is since 2003, 2004, nobody has repeated. In fact, on average, the team that wins the division drops 4.1 games the next year on average. Now, there were 2 seasons where they held serve, but nobody picked up more victories after winning the NFC East. And there's a multitude of reasons on that. When you're good, people take your players and things like that. They go elsewhere. They take your coaches. You end up having later draft picks. You have a tougher schedule. So let's get to the Washington football team schedule. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit more. I know it's not great when I have a white background here and it's dark behind me, but, you know, this is broadcast media. All right, so the first game that the Washington football team has is against the San Diego Chargers. And with San Diego having to come all the way across the West Coast to play in Washington for a 1 o'clock game, I'm going to give that one to the Washington football team. So right now, let me keep track. Let me keep track. So we're going to say victory over Chargers. We're going to say that's a dub. Okay. They play the New York Giants at Landover. Now, keep in mind, they did. No, I tell you what, we're going to skip over the division for now. We're going to skip over the division. We'll come back to division matchups. They have to go to Buffalo and play against the Bills. I think the Bills is an L. Okay? And you can dispute. But, I mean, I'm going to give Washington the benefit of the doubt on some games. Okay? But I just don't think the Buffalo Bills playing at home, that's going to be a win for them. I just don't. I know Fitzpatrick played there, but where didn't Fitzpatrick play? Atlanta Falcons, I'm going to give them a W on that one. Okay. New Orleans Saints. They're playing the Saints at home. I'm going to give them a W against the Saints. I'm going to be generous. Okay. I shouldn't, Roscoe? I shouldn't give them the W on that one. Okay. But I'm going to. I'm like I said, I'm going to try and give them the benefit of the doubt. Kansas City. KC, that's an L. At Green Bay, I'm going to say that's an L. I think that even though it's in Mile High, I'll give them the W over Denver. Tampa Bay, at home, I'm going to say Tampa wins on that one. I'm going to say they get the L there. At the Panthers, I'm going to give them the W because, their coach is going back home. Panthers. Seattle has to come across the country, but I'm going to say Seattle. Okay? Listen, I gave them New Orleans. I know that they're going to have probably Jameis Winston starting, but, you could say, you can flip-flop Seattle and New Orleans. Okay? All right? They're going to play at the club, getting tipsy. I'll say they beat the Raiders. And we're saving, of course, the division. Cowboys, Eagles, Giants. Okay. So, with that being said, what we have right now is we have a loss against the Bills, a loss against Kansas City, a loss against Green Bay, a loss against Tampa, a loss against Seattle. So that's 5 losses right there out of 17 games. Okay? We have 6 wins right there. Now, what we have left is we have 6 division games. Here's the interesting thing about the Washington football team. 2020, they won the division, 4-2 record. 2019, they were 0-6. 2018, 2-4. 2017, 1-5. 2016, 3-3. 2015, 3-3. 2014, 2-4. 2013, 0-6. 5-1 in 2012. 2-4 in 2011, and 2-4. So over the last 11 seasons in the division, they've been 24-42, which comes out to roughly 2.2 versus 3.8. 2-4. Let's say we're generous. Let's say 3-3, because even though last year everybody was bad in our division, everybody was bad. We look at our division and say our teams are improved. And mind you, Dak Prescott, I believe, has 1 loss against Washington in his career. I think it's only 1. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's 2. But the Cowboys don't lose against Washington very often. So you have to look at that and say the Cowboys should get at least 1, maybe 2. And, of course, at least one of the other team is going to sneak it. Like I said, the Giants with Danny Dimes, they got 2. So let's say we'll be generous. Instead of going by their average over the last 11 years, we'll say 3-3. So if we say 3 losses in the division, 3 losses in the division puts them 8 losses on the season. That's 8-9. Excuse me, 9-8. Now, like I said, I think the Saints game could go either way. I know the Saints have a great defense. We don't know how Shameless Winston or Tyson Hill will be as far as a quarterback, but I dare say that they're at least as good as Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fitzpatrick is good for 4 or 5 games, and then he does his disappearing act. And I challenge you. Like I said, I'd like to hear your list and see if I'm wrong. Now, if we go by the assumption of what Rich Eisen and stuff did, he said 10-6. The other person on the show said 11-5. Okay. If Washington is 9-8, how are they winning the division if the Cowboys are 10-7? This the 17-game season is screwing with my head. It's screwing with my head. Okay, but regardless, you give me what you think, and I challenge you to dispute my numbers. 9-8 is what I think Washington will go. All right, let the games begin.
Remember, I'm the fucking one who calls the shots. And you better pay me the respect that I gave your brother, or we're gonna have a problem. A bad one.
A bad one.
Now get the fuck out of here.
Our Coach here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Sports Report.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to